I'll start off just as I mentioned yesterday, obviously disappointed with the loss. Our guys battled, we fought hard, but at the end of the day, the penalties, killed us at the end. And we got to be better, and it starts with me. Get them cleaned up today and move on to the Raiders.
James, go ahead with your question.
Shane, any injury updates from yesterday?
I don't, just the Goodson, that's all I got right now.
Gotcha. And then to follow up, looking back the game winning touchdown for the Rams, you only had 10 defenders on the field. How does that happen? Can you explain why that mistake was made and just the reaction to that?
Yeah, it shouldn't happen. It's unacceptable, and it starts with me as the head coach. I got to recognize that we only got 10 and, call a timeout there. It can't happen.
Stephen.
Hey Shane, I'm wondering with Xavier and Howard in particular. I mean, look, we know he hadn't played last year. It's a tough day yesterday. I mean, can you keep going like this, or do you have to consider another option?
Yeah, I mean, we evaluate everything every week, Steven. Like I said, he's been a really good player in this league for a long time. We got to do a better job looking at different things and, helping him in certain situations. Just he is a talented player, but, we got to improve in some areas for sure.
And
Chat.
then one other thing on the 10 men. I mean, how does that? It's a communication thing, I assume, at its core. I mean, how does that communication flow, just like on a basic level? Is it through the
Uh,
assistant coach, I assume, position coach?
yeah, coaches just calling in the defensive personnel and making sure we got 11 guys out there, and it didn't get communicated well enough, and it's on me.
Chap, go ahead.
Yeah, Shane. I guess the most fresh things are what happened yesterday, the mistakes that just probably gnaw at you, that a game that was there. But when you break down a season, a lot of coaches or people do it on quarters of a season. So close to the game, can you look at 3-1 and say, for the first quarter of the season we did this, or are you still close to the Rams game?
Yeah, I think there's some positives through the first quarter of the season. Obviously, being 3-1 is a positive, but it's always is frustrating, chap, when you have chances to win a football game and you let them slip away with, some penalties and costly mistakes that are controllable things. And the good thing is, I think we learn from these mistakes. It's early in the season and we get them cleaned up and we get ready to go for the Raiders, but. Yeah, we just can't have those costly mistakes, bite us there at the end.
Well, follow up from what everybody talked about yesterday with AD and his mistakes. How again, he's a young player, great talent, but you've talked about accountability. How do you go forward balancing the great talent from these gaffes that are just costly?
Yeah, no question. You know what? He took accountability in the team meeting, spoke to the team to start the team meeting. I had a conversation with him in my office today, just letting him know that this obviously moment doesn't define who you are as a person. But he knows, going forward, he's gonna have to earn it, going forward and how he practices and how he prepares.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Jake.
Hey, Coach. So there are no moral victories, and all losses aren't necessarily the same. But with this being one where it was a one-score game, so many kind of self-inflicted wounds, how do you view this one? Is it almost encouraging, or is a loss at the end of the day?
Yeah, this league, a loss is a loss. I mean, we did some good things on all three phases. I thought our special teams played good. But at the end of the day, just penalties, we got in third and forever. I mean, a couple times, and those are hard to overcome. Defense gets a takeaway. We got, offensive PI call down there, goes up. We got a chance to go up 11 there with 8 minutes left. And then same thing, we get another big penalty, to take the lead with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. So, we got to get those things cleaned up. Starts with me moving forward.
We can do a couple more here. Kevin.
Shane, was there any thought of sitting AD during the game?
I talked to him on the sideline. It was a tough situation. He felt it. We all felt it. But obviously we needed him, in that game with the receivers that we had. And so, It was a tough deal, but obviously we talked to him and said, hey, we're going to need you here, at some point again in the game. So that was kind of the conversation that was taking place, Kevin.
And he'll be active and play on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go through practice, and like I said, he's got to earn it going forward.
James.
Latu had a big day yesterday. What'd you like from him and just the, I guess, impact he brought on the game for you all?
Yeah, I thought he played incredible. Obviously, he got the sack there. I think he had 3 QB hits, some tackles. He was relentless, going after the quarterback. I thought he had a big day. Just a, high energy guy, great motor. I thought he did some really good things off the edge. So it was good to see, James.
And last question, Jake.
Do you anticipate Jalen Carlisle will practice this week?
I'm not sure on that one, Jake. We'll see how the week goes.
Okay.
That'll do it, Coach. Thanks so much for your time.
All right, appreciate you. See y'all Wednesday.
James, we can start with you.
Tommy, can you just take us through that performance yesterday? What did you think you thought that you did well? And we heard a lot of praise from your teammates about your performance.
Yeah, I think I definitely made some plays. Obviously, still want to be better, still a lot to work on. And I think from here we just continue to grow.
And then to follow up to that, how much do you think Latu's presence helps the rest of you guys out? I know he had a big day as well, and I'd imagine when you see him having to get a little more attention, you're excited about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Latu, he's been amazing for us. I mean, the game he had yesterday was, real good for us and helps everybody else out. So yeah, the way he's playing, I'm loving it. I'm sure everybody else is too.
Steven, go ahead.
Hey, Tommy. Hey, how do you kind of, after 4 games, how do you kind of look at what you guys have done defensively overall, and it's a new scheme and all that? So I mean, I don't know, what do you think you guys have done so far, and what is the next step you got to take?
Yeah, I think we've done some good things. I think there's been some things we got to work on, and I think the biggest thing is just not to be complacent and just to continue to grow and keep getting better as a defense and obviously as a team. So.
Chap, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was muted. Pardon me. One thing Coach harped or not harped on, but everyone's harped on the accountability, and when players mess up, stuff happens. But Coach talked about A.D. Mitchell kind of addressing the team today. I guess as a teammate, did he need to, and what does it mean to you when teammates do that?
Yeah, I mean, no one plays a perfect game. Everyone has mistakes. And I think, not just him, but, everyone who kind of knows they didn't, made a mistake here and there, including myself, like we all know we have to be better. So I think that's one of the things that, we just have to continue to learn from and grow.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? All right. That should do it, Tommy. Thanks for your time. James, you can go ahead.
Bernie, how would you assess your performance yesterday?
Needs to be better. It's that simple. You know, some of those weeks, you prepare, and that preparation, if that preparation doesn't translate on Sunday, it's extremely frustrating, but it's only on yourself to fix it. And that's just what needs to happen.
And then what things do you think the Rams did to make life a little difficult for you?
They have, you know, talented guys, but I think at the end of the day, it was more myself than anything else. Just gotta trust your technique, and be on the same page as everyone else. Be have that communication and be on point with everyone, and that can make a huge difference on the field.
Bernie, every team's got great edge guys. What's different about Max Crosby? He's just a guy, if you're not careful, he can just blow a game up.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just, all over the field in run and pass. You gotta be, gotta keep an eye on him, because like you mentioned, he's a difference maker. But nonetheless, as an offensive line, you just gotta stick to your own technique. You gotta do your job, focus um, on your job, as small or big as it might be for that game or for that specific play, and you just gotta execute, and that doesn't really matter who's lining up there.
Also, Bernie, you're in a position that everybody sees you. I mean, you're left tackle, and a lot of times you're out there, and good plays, bad plays, whatever. Coach always talks about accountability. He mentioned that AD Mitchell addressed the team today. I mean, is that something that needed to be done, or what was it? How's the teammate did he react to that? It was a play that was unfortunate and it cost you guys big time.
I mean, mistakes happen. Like, we all humans, we all try our hardest, and so obviously it was, great to hear, and like we all take accountabilities for the mistakes we've made, and it takes guts, to stand up in front of the team and acknowledge that. But nonetheless, we all know who AD is. AD is a guy who shows up early, who gets his extra work in. He's obviously a freak athlete. Like, that was a hell of a play that he made, and obviously it was a small mistake that negated that. But we as a team, we all know who he is, and that's all that matters.
Thanks, Bernie. Appreciate it.
Anyone else have any questions?
Oh, one follow up. When Bernie, when you say you know who AD Mitchell is, who is he for those who aren't on his team?
Like I said, I mean, he's a hard worker. Like, he's on a jugs machine all the time. I know, like, all the equipment guys are taking turns, working the jugs machine with him. He's in the building. He's out on the practice field making play after play, and he's making, like I said, like he made a huge play, just didn't finish it the right way, and I think that's something that people might overlook. But he's a hell of a teammate, and also off the field, like he's always happy to help. He's there. He's always in good spirits, like in the training room, in the cafeteria, doesn't matter, and yeah, I think that's the most important thing.